Hey everybody, welcome back to Adventurecruiser. This is Matt. Now, if you happen to see some of my videos popping up on another channel called Radio Aficionado, that's because I am pretending I have ADD and I can't stick with one thing for very long. It's still me, don't worry, thinking about adding that later on, but let's not focus on that too much, except don't report me, that is legitimately me. So today I want to talk about the BK Technologies BKR0204 remote speaker mic. Now this is the fire rated version. This is the high temp cord, and it is noise canceling, exceptionally loud volume. And this one also has the port for an earpiece. On the top, you'll find an emergency button, which can be assigned to any number of features, such as nuisance delete, you name it. Same with this. This is natively the volume button, but you can assign it to just about anything as well. That's something I really like about the BKR radios. In their res radio editing software, they give you a lot of freedom, and they make it really simple to program digital or analog systems. They even put out a video themselves on how to set up a BKR9000 for non-affiliate scanning safely. That's pretty cool. I like guys that want to help me do what I want to do. So thank you, BK. Now, getting back to this, I have had this one for about a month now, and I've put it through its paces. I have listened to it and communicated with it in really noisy environments, in harsh environments, and I am really impressed. I think it feels nice in the hand. It is not exceptionally heavy. If you remember my video about a Motorola mobile microphone and why it seemingly felt so good in the hand, was because they had weights in it. They actually had metal weights inside that. So go check it out. I think it's a YouTube short. I'll try and pin it. We'll see if that works. But bottom line is, this is not exceptionally heavy, so it's not going to pull down on your garments or on your vest or whatever you have. And yet it still has incredible quality. It has a good feel to it. The clip rotates 360 degrees into detents. So I find that probably one of the better ways is to hold it upside down maybe and have this pull up over your shoulder if that's your style. Or most turnout gear is designed now to have this. They have a little loop on that. But either way, I find that this is a wonderful addition to the BK fleet. As I said, I've had it about a month now. Now, I am no longer working on a fire apparatus. That was almost 2 decades ago now. But I remember how noisy it was when I was working as the engineer on a couple of scenes. And when you're standing next to a fire rig and the pump's going and there's just noise everywhere, or you've got a vent fan going, having clear, loud audio is really important. So I simulated that environment by taking it into a room in my shop that has a 500 horsepower refrigeration compressor, and it just whines like crazy. Now, I could communicate very clearly on this remote speaker mic. So to me, that is the test. Will this work in a noisy environment and a quiet environment? It does, absolutely. Now, to get to a quiet environment, I can turn the volume really low and still have crisp, clear audio. That is really important. I think I've had a lot of remote speaker mics in the past where when you turn it down, you can tell there's a conversation going, but you can't hear it audibly. It's almost like when you're getting into the twilight hours and your eyes haven't shifted over from the rods to the cones or vice versa, and your eyes know that there's something to be seen, but you can't really make it out. That's how a lot of remote speaker mics sound to me when you turn the volume down. This is not one of those. I think this is an exceptional piece, and I'm really happy to have it. I do oftentimes use an earpiece. I think I use the in-ear. It's a wire braided cable to a little speaker that goes in my ear. I'll post a video on that one later on too. But all things considered, I'm really happy with this. This is a very robust cable. This is a high temp cable. Great spring retraction to it. Really nice. Now in size, it is identical almost to the XE-RSM, slightly smaller, and basically the same overall, except this has a flashlight on it, because everybody needs a flashlight on their RSM to drain their radio batteries. This is the Motorola XVE500 RSM, and it is also about the same size. Now, I do like that the BK RSM is lighter than either of these Motorola's. By this one, it is significantly lighter than. This one, it's just a little bit lighter. I do find that while initially my reaction to a lighter speaker microphone was, oh, well, that can't be as good, is actually a false sense of quality, if you will. If you're curious, check out one of my earlier shorts on taking apart a Motorola mobile microphone, the potato microphone that just feels so good in the hand, and then when you take it apart, there's actually a metal weight inside it. Yeah, go figure. But imagine wearing this all day long and it's pulling down on your shirt or your turnout gear or your duty vest. In this case, light is better. I do really like that BK has put a lot of thought into their new design on the BKR radios. So let me show you what I mean by that. When you turn this radio sideways, this is now metal. This is a KNG P800 and the latch is plastic. Now this housing is replaceable for a few $100s, but I like that this tab that the RSM fits into is now metal. Now let's compare that to an older RSM microphone. Now this is the BKR KAA0205 NC. So this is also a noise canceling speaker mic. But the reason I got it was because the latch had broken off. And so I got a whole bunch of these on eBay, super cheap because this latch was broken off. I got a little creative with a Dremel, with some brass and some super glue and made my own latch. But BK has upgraded their speaker mic connections to now being metal. Metal on the speaker mic and metal on the radio. And in my opinion, I think that is a huge upgrade, especially when you're relying on this. You know, maybe you're in a chase, maybe you're tumbling with somebody and you need to be able to reach up and yell cover now into your radio. You want this connected to your radio. You don't want it falling off. Even the APX line has a plastic connection, a little plastic hook. Now, I'm not saying that these are untrustworthy, except that I have seen these break off, and that is a bad day for everybody, especially when you need cover now. So BK, good job on that upgrade. Really like it. I think this is a spectacular speaker microphone. I personally would like to see this latch a bit stronger if I'm gonna have any criticisms at all. But all things considered, I think this is spectacular. Again, I love that BK lets me assign whatever I want to these buttons. Same with on the radio. I love BK's approach to, hey, we're gonna make it simple and we're gonna allow, you know, specific people within a department to be able to make these changes on the radios. We're gonna allow firefighters in the field to do front panel programming if necessary. That's actually how I got started with BK radios. I made a radio video about Rocky Talkies. My cousin wrote back and he said, hey man, great video. Have you heard of BK radio? And I said, well, yeah, I used to own one. I owned an older version of this guy. And he said, did you know that they do front panel programming and you can change everything? And I got real curious. So then I bought some of these guys. Now, being a hobbyist or an aficionado, sometimes I look at a radio manufacturer and there have been a number of them that just simply won't deal with me. I've requested quotes from a number of Motorola dealerships and Kenwood dealerships, and none of them have gotten through to me, with the exception of one or two in each of those brands that are willing to work with the little guy. But I have not suffered the same humiliation, if you will, or lack of care from BK, whether it's any of the online BK suppliers or even BK Technologies themselves in Melbourne, Florida. Anytime I have an issue, I can call BK Technologies in Melbourne, Florida and speak to one of their reps. And I find that just a huge blessing. I know it takes time on their part, but to me, the fact that they care about the little guy tells me that they're gonna care about the big guy too. Do you really just wanna do business with a company that will only work with you if you have 5,000 of their radios? To me, that's arrogance. Jumping a little bit off from the speaker mic, but bottom line is, I like these guys. I like what they do. I like the quality they're putting into their devices, and I like that they're American made. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a teaser for a future video. Did you know that you, with a Medusa cable, can clone from this radio to the BKR9000, or this radio to the BKR9000, or from this radio to this radio to that radio? This is a significantly older radio than this one. And yet BK has maintained this interoperability, this sense of duty over profit that I hope genuinely will make them a lot of profit in the long run because they're doing it right. So stay tuned for that one later on. But for now, again, this is the BKR0204 from BK Technologies, and I'm a fan. That's all I got for you today. Take care.